We are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook. Good afternoon. The title of today's conversation is 100 Hours Later. It was about 100 hours ago, a little over 100 hours ago, that I had, as I referenced it, as the second worst adult fall I have had in my career. And it's been an interesting ordeal. But before I really give you the case study, which I think I'm obligated to do because I want to thank all the folks who gave lots of well wishes and it actually that's part of, I guess that's part of the healing process, isn't it? Uh, but something a really interesting dynamic happened in the responses, and I wanted to share that with you because it really is the true value of the concept of Facebook and what it can potentially do. 60 years ago, uh, from my house to Margaret Firestone Ostergaard's house was 6 houses. And of the 6 houses back up to mine, 5 of those houses responded, had an affinity relationship with me 60 years ago. And it's that is very amazing. The only house that did not respond was Mrs. Myers's house. She lived next to Margaret, and uh, she there was no way she was going to respond. Well, first of all, she would be way too old, but it was a very interesting household. So at any rate, I do want to thank everybody for sending well wishes and uh, I have to say that Stan Myers, that does include you, because I don't think I can remember 2 times when I can remember you and seeing you at the house next door to mine. However, as we both know, in 1978 and 79, we were both tenants for Mrs. Whitaker, and she had 4 houses on that little corner in Southwest 6th Street, Southwest in Canton. Well, she had the big. You and Bonnie made it an art museum uh, next door, and so at any rate, I wanted to thank everyone for sharing their good wishes. Um, I think. Oh, I need to make another point too, and it's a pretty important theme in my life that when you live alone by yourself and uh, family not around too close, uh, you live a different kind of life. You can't stay down too long because uh, there's nobody there to help you out. So you do things differently. You think differently, and so as soon as I got home on Wednesday afternoon, I began my uh, rehab, get back to shape program because it had to be done. And it was a good. there's a good opportunity for me to then look at the information that I shared last Saturday when I told you there were 5 objectives in senior exercise. And I created, these are my 5 objectives in senior exercise. And I actually am going to talk about how important some of these things have been in the last 100 hours. Uh, uh, Last Wednesday at approximately 12:30, I was on my way to um, the bus stop. I was going to be taking 2 buses, and um, I made a dumb decision in retrospect to walk on the side of the street that did not have a sidewalk. Its terrain was different versus the other side of the street. It was a busy street that had a sidewalk. When I go back on Tuesday, I will walk on a sidewalk, I promise. But at any rate, I lost 45 seconds of time before I felt I felt me hitting the ground. I really can't. I can't recollect about 45 seconds. And I want to thank too. There was a 30-ish African American fellow that saw me fall. He stopped his car on a busy street, got out of the car, and helped me to get back up. And I was I was on the road to getting better. So I went. I had about 30 more yards to get to the bus stop, and I had to take 2 buses home, and then from where I get off the bus back to my apartment is about 750 steps, I think. No, it's more. It's about it's 6/10 of a mile. I had to walk back, and so that's more steps, 1,500 steps. I don't know, 1,600. At any rate, in the morning at 6:15, when I walked to catch a bus, I was walking at a pace of 4 miles an hour, 15-minute miles, and I have not been able. Oh, I haven't walked that pace for a long time. I used to run in half the time, but less than half the time. But it's been a long time since I walked. But so going to the buses in the morning, I had a great cadence, a great pace. And then coming home, I'll bet I was walking at the rate of about 1 mile an hour to get home, and carrying a bag of stuff that I had purchased while I was over on that end of town. And so it was amazing. But we did it. Let's look at what may have happened here. There's nothing cardiovascular that I had to worry about. That was for sure. I do have balance issues, but balance absolutely did not play a part in the accident. We were looking at muscle strength, muscle tone, and skeletal alignment. Something was out of whack, and that's what really drove the accident. I take a pill every day for the prostate-specific antigen that is in my body, and one of the 3 main side effects of that pill is muscle strength. It impacts your muscles, so I'm sure that played into the equation. But whatever. I knew that in recovery, I was going to have to really focus on skeletal alignment, um, and I do that very very often. It's on the screen. Uh, Skeletal alignment is an extremely important thing as we get older. If you have some aches or pains, and they are arthritis driven, there are things that you probably can do, hopefully you can do, that will improve your skeletal alignment. So I knew that I had to get to work on that as quickly as possible, which I did because I took 2 extra strength Tylenol and got into bed. But um, what happened in my case, there was so much trauma to the muscle when I fell that it impacted my nerves. And that was driving a huge amount of pain. So I knew that as long as there was going to be swelling down in that area, and there was plenty of swelling, uh, my nerves were going to get better until, or feel better, repair, or whatever was going on, until I was able to get the swelling down. So to that end, I put ice pack a couple times on it before I went to bed. Uh, and last year I had a thing. It wasn't a fall or anything, but it was hurting. I got out of alignment somehow. I have no idea, but it was hurting, and there was no question it was impacting a nerve going through. And my doctor recommended this lidocaine 4% maximum strength pain relieving cream, analgesic cream, which I applied. And one of the reasons why this was suggested is because it penetrates and really gets to the nerves somehow, whatever. But all of the things that I was doing worked. I had, this is, I gotta get rid of this. I know what's going on here. Uh, that is 100, a little over 100 hours old, and I immediately put some polysporin on it, which um, another thing that my doctor had recommended last year, or the pharmacist, whatever. And so we were starting to do things. One thing that I do every time I leave the house is I put a tight band like this. I get it up as high on my quad muscles as I can, 4 or 5 inches above my knee, and then stretch it out. I wear one on both feet, on both knees. I also, when I leave the house, and sometimes when I'm in the house, I wear a band, and it absolutely positively helps you to get in alignment, and particularly with issues in lower back. If you wear one of these things and think about it and work on it, it should hopefully improve any lower back issues that you might have. I should say too that it was last week or not more than 2 weeks ago. I ordered some new. I saw an ad for some new knee pads or things to put around my knees. And what I liked about these were it offers straps that I can tighten as much as I want. And I got one for each knee, and absolutely they are working for me. Absolutely, they are. So those were the things. And then each day, I absolutely have felt improvement each day. And as I said, we're just a little over 100 hours out right now. I actually had a goal today that I knew it wasn't. I wanted to see how realistic it was. I wanted to walk 750 steps up the street to do my laundry, and I just decided that with the weather and I was going to wait one more day. I was going to stay off my legs one more day and work on some muscle strength exercises, which I have done. You know, when something bothers you, when you have a muscle ache, when arthritis is bothering you, only you know the amount of pain and where it is, and you certainly can do something about it if you focus on that area. Uh, you have to do something that creates resistance, because if you're not creating resistance, you're not going to get your strength back. And people say, well, how long should you do it? Um, there are all kinds of opinions on how long you should do an exercise. My response to the question is, how long should you do it? Is your body will tell you how long you should be doing exercise. Listen to your body. And the answers are always there. As far as working on your muscles, if you can feel as you were working out and in your muscles, you start feeling you are building up lactic acid in your muscles, and that is the burning sensation that you feel. If you can get to that level, great, but you're not going to stay there very long. That is time to step back and then let things go to rest, uh, and then you can do it again. If your body says will allow you to do it again, do it again. If not, stop. That is really something that the I've never heard it from a trainer or an exercise instructor, because uh, every trainer believes that they have all the magical answers to all the questions, and the more answers they have and the better way they are to deliver them, the more that they can charge for their services. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. So let me see if I have covered here. Actually, I've covered everything I wanted to share with you. I tomorrow, I am going to absolutely make the attempt to walk the 750 steps up the street. And Tuesday, I have another doctor's appointment, so we will hopefully be back in total normalcy, whatever that might be, by not later than Tuesday morning. So thank you for sharing your time today. I hope some of the things there were a lot of lessons to be learned. Um, Interesting that we're coming up on 19 minutes, and you know that I have a theme. Thank you for 19 minutes of your time, uh, and I will see you the next time, which may very well be the best time.